Hi guys, my name is Vijay Venkat, and we will be today talking about the importance of non-verbal communication. So, non-verbal communication is that aspect of communication which is probably most misused or understood aspect of communication. So, non-verbal communication, when we just say non-verbal communication, one thing which strikes everyone's mind is body language. So again, body language is also most misunderstood part of communication. So what is body language? Is it only about your physical appearance, or has this got something to do with your mental ability or what you think inside? So if you look at public speaking, it is more about how you feel from inside than how you appear. Of course, how you appear matters, but what how you appear or your body language is a reflection of how you feel from inside. If you're confident, if you are you know good at your subject, and if you are confident about your language, your vocabulary, and if you're having you're in a good space of mind, then your appearance also will definitely change, and you will start feeling good. So body language, it should not be misunderstood with only your physical appearance, but also about how you feel from inside. So the better you feel from inside, the better you appear in your sessions, in public sessions, or in the classrooms, or even in meetings. So let us understand few aspects of non-verbal communication. Again, let me underline the point that you should first feel good from inside. You should feel confident about what you're talking. You should feel confident from inside. You should be in a good space of mind. So once you're done with these primary aspects, then we get into like how how your body language should appear, or I mean, what are the different forms of non-verbal communications. So let me share a few important slides with you to explain in detail the non-verbal part of the communication. One second. Okay. So here we go. So let us divide non-verbal communications into five different areas. One is body language, and oculesics, proxemics, haptics, and chromatics. So we will do at least we'll cover two to three aspects of this today. So first, let us talk about oculesics. So oculesics is primarily about your eye contact, like we normally call it as eye contact, as we generally people know and understand the eye contact. So this is more about eye contact. So eye contact, there is a difference between a stare and an observation. As you can see here, as we mentioned here. So if you look at more than 7 seconds, at a person without any expression, that is considered as a stare and not as an observation. So when we say eye contact, or maintain eye contact with the opposite person, it doesn't mean you should stare at him. You should have some expressions on your face, like you smile, or you have your hands and movement, or you're talking to the person as, but not you're staring. So more than 7 seconds, it is called as aggressive stare, or you are being you're being on a confrontal aspect. So you should not be that. You should have control over how you're looking, and you should know the difference between observation, staring. observation and staring. So you should maintain an eye contact. It should be pleasant eye contact. It should not be like you are very angry on the person. So eye contact is definitely important, but it again, you should know the difference between how much time you can look at a person. 7 seconds. Obviously, you cannot look at your watch and it's not possible that you look at your watch and see it is 7 seconds or 8 seconds. But you should average on 7 seconds. It is considered more than 7 seconds as still. So you should take care of that. And then this is other other tips like how you should look at a person. So if you can closely observe the triangles, one the first part is is looking towards your forehead. The pointer is pointing towards your forehead. So and then it is the pointer is towards your lips. Then it is below the table. So these are the different formal, informal, and personal. So the formal is you normally look at your forehead, not too much. Not it should not be obvious. This is only a tips for you to follow, but you should not make it obvious. Like this guy is uh, he is trying his best to be formal, informal, or personal gaze. It is only a tip for you to follow. Like if someone is looking maybe at below the table, that is very personal or informal gaze. So informal gaze, as you know, it happens with your family and friends, and formal it is with your office colleagues. So so informal and personal gaze is normally with your family and friends. So these are the tips for you to how you maintain your eye contact. Then let us move to the other important aspect, that is how expressions change. These are some of the expressions. We may not be we may not be we may not know like how our how our expressions are when you're talking to a person. But this is how it, like as I said at the beginning, your internal, how you're feeling internally, it comes out on your face. You don't, it is a reflex of what you're feeling internally. So if you're feeling happy, then your face automatically has a smile on its face. Surprise, fear, these are all reflections of what you're feeling internally. And this is not something you can manage or something you can put up in front of someone. This happens as a reflex, that it happens automatically, like how you're feeling inside. So it is most importantly, you should know how to control your internal feelings. And most of the times it's not possible to control and your, like, what you're feeling inside shows up on your face. And as they say, through your face or your eyes, they can read your mind, like what you're thinking. So if you're talking to any senior or any professional guy, based on your expressions and your eyes, and he can make out like what you're thinking inside. So you should be very careful with your facial expressions. And these are some of the things, how you face expressions change based on what you're thinking inside, like anger, disgust, sadness. So this is how it appears. And the best phase here is, of course, the happiness phase. So you should always try to maintain that happiness, from internal and as well as the external aspect. So next we go. Yeah, this is very important. The how you maintain a distance when you're talking to when you're talking to a stranger, when you're talking to someone whom you know him very closely. And in public zone, in social zone, like how, what is, this is one aspect where you know we don't know like how far we should stand from a person who is not very close to you. And that is very important, because if you're not maintaining a distance, some people don't feel comfortable talking to you. So it's very, very important that you maintain a distance. So this is approximately the distance you should maintain. Like intimate zone is the person, is the relationship you have with a person who is very, very close to you. And personal zone is again a friend, a friend maybe whom you know for some time. Social zone is when you are going to a party, or when you are meeting some people know both known and unknown people. When you don't know, when you know few people and you don't know few people, and you're in a social zone where there's a gathering, maybe a marriage where you know few people, where you don't know few people. So this is the approximate distance you should maintain. And again, public zone, like malls and other places, the public zone where you have huge number of public. So again, as I said at the beginning, obviously you cannot take a scale and measure the distance between two people, but you should have an idea, like, okay, okay, this is the relationship I have with this person, so approximately this is the distance I should maintain. And all these tips are primarily, for you to for you to appear good about yourself and to make others comfortable. So as I said at the beginning, non-verbal communication or the body language, you must have read a lot of places, you must have watched a lot of videos about non-verbal communication, body language, and eye contact, and hand movement, and all those normally used words. But again, I stress on the point that non-verbal communication or body language is the most misunderstood aspect of public speaking. People think body language is completely physical. How you appear physically to someone, and nothing to do about your mental space or how you're feeling internally. But how you feel externally is completely depending on it is not completely, not completely, but most of the time it is depending on how you're feeling internally. So if you're nervous inside, you cannot just be very happy and confident outside. So if you're nervous inside, that shows in your external appearance. If you're happy inside, it shows your in your external appearance. So if you're tense, inside, it shows in your external appearance. So it's very, very important to feel that it should come from your heart. Then your physical appearance will also change. So you should maintain, you should also give importance to how you feel inside. And I am repeatedly telling this because people misunderstand what body language is, right? So here we cover, next we go to the slide. This is about, this is called haptics or the touch language. So here we're primarily talking about the handshakes, okay, like, dominant, submissive, and equal. Dominant is if you're meeting a CEO of a company and you're going for an interview, or any inconsequential meetings. So the handshake of the CEO would be dominant, and that is how he is feeling about himself, like he is in a superior position. Then you have that dominant handshake from the CEO of the company, or it can be from different countries. The president of US and maybe the president of some very little known nation. When they meet, the dominant handshake happens. And obviously the president of the US has a dominant body language than the president of a very small nation. And submissive handshake is again, where you are mentally prepared to surrender yourself in front of anyone for any favor or for any request. Like submissive is you're surrendering yourself. Like, I am ready to do whatever you ask me to do. I don't have any fixed conditions or terms to discuss. I'm ready to submit myself or surrender myself. So that is where submissive handshake, comes into play. Equal handshake is between two, two, two equally important people, or maybe, you know, maybe, your colleagues, you are in the same positions, same designation. So they don't have any, a dominant or submissive handshakes. They have equal handshakes. There are, again, different, if you go further into handshakes, then you have dead fish handshake. This is called dead fish because the other person doesn't have any, he just, gives you a hand, and he doesn't, have any control over his hand. It's almost like a dead, it's like a dead hand. It doesn't have any emotions or feelings to it. So knuckle grinder is, it's normally, it's not a formal kind of handshake. This is more playful. and you hurt someone by just by grinding his knuckles, or just pressing his knuckles too hard. This is very interesting, politician handshake. This is you if you have met any politician when during election times, the way he gives you a handshake, like he gives you a lot of respect, and that doesn't obviously come from the heart. So this is called a politician handshake. You can know that this happens once in 5 years, or maybe when he has some work with you. So this is called a politician handshake. So this double-handed handshake is, again, you are assuring to the opposite person that, okay, I will do my best, to support you, or I'll do my best, to satisfy, or to help you out. So that is a double-handed handshake. So these are all, this is the fingertip grab, where you meet a colleague every day in the office. So just you touch his hand and just carry on with your regular work. So there is no in the fingertip grab. There is no any formality. It's just you just tip, just touch someone's hand, and you go ahead with your work. So these are how people judge. If people judge about your personality based on your handshake, and if the other person is a senior person, if he's having a lot of credibility, then he can easily judge just by looking at you, or just shaking hands with you. He can judge like your confidence levels. So you should be very careful about your body language. And we'll be doing more body language sessions in the coming days. But I suggest you to practice this. Whatever we discussed today, we'll just run through again what we discussed, so it'll be easy for you to implement this in your day-to-day day-to-day communications with people. So there are five different types of non-verbal communications. We have completed body language, oculesics, and proxemics. Then we have chromatics and haptics. This we will be doing in the coming days. So this is what we have done. The first three things: the eye contact is, you should not stare at people. You should just observe people. And then these are the different three types of gaze. That is how you look, formal, informal, and personal. Then these are the expressions, like what you're feeling inside. It shows on your face. Disgust, anger, sadness, happiness, and of course, happiness is the best facial expressions you can find in anyone. This is again the distance you should maintain between two people, or when you meet someone for the first time in social zone, like how to maintain the distance so that you will be comfortable and the person you are meeting is also comfortable talking to you. And this is the haptics, the touch language, or the handshake, the different types of handshakes. So dominant, submissive, and equal handshakes. And these are politician handshake. These are some handshakes you must have you must have come across, or you must have you must have felt different places. But this is the explanation of each handshake, the way you shake hands with people. So guys, I hope this session was useful. We'll be doing more non-verbal communication sessions in the coming weeks, or coming days, sorry. So that's it, guys. I'll see you again very soon. Bye bye.